Anime is weird, and there's no denying it. I honestly can't think of any other type of media where giant barebacked humanoid monsters and parasitic talking aliens are commonplace and integral to some of the most well-respected anime in the industry. But that actually got me thinking, what are the weirdest animes out there? I took on the task of scouring the internet and asking questions on various forums such as Reddit, and in specific r/anime, r/anime suggests, and r/manga to handpick some of the weirdest animes that I could find. I even got a special guest on today's video, someone pretty decently known in the community, to give some insight into one of his weirdest animes he's ever found. Now, with that being said, let's get into the weirdest animes that I could find. Part 1, of course. Sekko Boys. When you think of music groups, you may think of the widely popular BTS or Blackpink, which are both part of the K-pop industry. You may even think of popular idol shows and groups such as AKB48 or Idolmasters. But what if I told you there's a show about an idol group made of famous Greek and Roman figures, but they're busts, like stone statues? Now hear me out. Sekko Boys is a Lighted Films anime about our main character Miki Ishimoto, who is tasked with managing a new pop idol group. This being her first gig after being a recent college graduate, she was excited to get started with her career. However, her department is statues? Yes, the Sekko Boys, or the Rockies for short, are a new up-and-coming boy band composed of 4 Greco-Roman sculptures: St. George, Mars, Hermes, and Medici. With the help of Miki's new management job, will the new group be a huge success, or will they hit rock bottom? Honestly, for a show with such an odd concept, there's actually not much to say about this show. The show is exactly what you would expect it to be. A lighthearted comedy show with familiar character personalities from your standard popular idol shows. The only real difference is, you know, the fact that the characters are still images of stone busts. So expect a lot of history, puns, and jokes. In terms of watchability, it is quite an easy watch in general. The episodes are relatively short, about 7 minutes each, and the characters are fun to watch. The only real major gripe I have is, like I mentioned before, our main boy band is composed of still images of stone busts. Like, they're barely even animated. And if you're wondering, by the way, the director Seiki Takuno was actually one of the people who worked on Gintama and Naruto Shippuden, and was the main director of Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches, which honestly surprised me a little bit. Puni Puni Poemi. Puni Puni Poemi is a JC staff anime about a young, aspiring voice actress looking to find a long-term career within the entertainment industry, going through her struggles of mastering her craft of voice acting and balancing her education in the process. Everything seems to be looking down until a mysterious alien kills her parents and wreaks havoc all over Tokyo. With the help of a talking fish, in which she slaughters, she transforms into a magical girl to save the day. Yes, I am actually not joking at all. This 2-episode OVA can only be described as a fever dream, something you can only think up after souping up with copious amounts of illegal vegetables and candies, if you know what I mean. From a character that shoots a mini version of himself from his afro, to aliens with testy powers, and yes, it is exactly what you think it is. This show has everything you need to safely categorize it as astronomically weird. And I haven't even talked about the 2nd episode yet, which is not exactly YouTube safe. Personally speaking, the OVA itself is incredibly hard to watch, mainly because practically nothing makes any sort of sense in the show, but also, our main character speaks like she is perpetually in a Rap God music video. Quite frankly, I have no idea how Shinichi Watanabe and Matt Greenfield conceptualized this anime. They definitely made something utterly unforgettable, to say the absolute least. Akikun. Have you ever had a nice refreshing can of soda? Do you perhaps enjoy collecting cool looking soda cans? And have you ever wanted to date a soda can? Akikun is an anime made by Brainbase about our main protagonist Kakuru Daichi, an avid collector of soda cans, particularly rare soda cans. But on a random day, after purchasing a refreshing can of melon soda and taking a sip, his can of melon soda turns into a gorgeous blonde girl. After this chance encounter, he is wrapped into a convoluted can-based experiment where these humanoid soda can beings are fighting over which type of can is superior, aluminum or steel. The show is honestly not as weird as it sounds, if you ignore the actual premise of the show. The actual anime itself is honestly your standard ecchi anime. It kind of reminds me of a worse version of To Love Ru with less ecchi and worse animation. A bit of action here, a bit of ecchi there, and maybe a little comedy on the side. The show is definitely watchable, but still quite weird in terms of premise. And yes, I did watch all 12 episodes of the show. Onaragoro. In life, we all go through multiple mishaps and complicated issues that are hard to solve by ourselves. Some of us may go to several different places to help out with their personal problems, like friends and families, for example. But what if I told you all your problems can be solved by a sentient and wise fart. Onaragoro is a short anime series with about 13 episodes with a 3-minute runtime per, about Goro, the most admirable of farts, as he solves problems that only a fart could solve. You must be wondering, however, what sort of problems are problems that a fart can only solve? Well, these problems can fall within the range of a simple school bully situation to a life-saving operation, all solved through the power of flatulence. But don't think the fart cinematic universe ends there. No. Not only do we follow our main protagonist, Goro-san, but we are also introduced to several characters with deep and riveting backstories, such as Onara Makoto and Onara Takahashi. You rarely see this type of character building in your new age mainstream anime, let alone a lesser known comedy series. And by the way, yes, the two characters I have mentioned are both farts as well, if you couldn't guess from their names. Surprisingly enough, Onaragoro is a short story series that is personally quite enjoyable for me. Not in the regular sense where I'm blown away by animation or enthralled by the riveting and deep story, but I was simply mesmerized and quite honestly just stunlocked by the sheer fact that someone actually conceptualized such an absurd concept for an anime. Mr. Takahashi Taniguchi, you honestly have outdone yourself, my friend. Well, with that being said, I would like to end the video off with a very special entry by someone you may know from the anime community. His channel name goes by awdii, and he is currently a fast rising channel in the anime community. If you enjoy similar content to mine, you'll for sure enjoy his content as well. Link will be in the description of the video, and let's get right into it.
The weirdest anime I've ever seen is probably Devilman Crybaby. It was actually like my second anime that I ever watched because PewDiePie recommended in one of his videos. I was in middle school at the time, and trust me when I say that I should not have been watching that anime. I mean, there's monsters that come out of this girl's tits, people are getting eaten left and right, and the main character literally jacks off in front of his whole class. The anime was directed by Masaki Yuasa, and it's an adaptation of a 1972 manga that's inspired tons of series that came after it. But being Masaki Yuasa, it's both amazing and also really weird. He's known for his distinctive art style where characters look like they were drawn by a child, and movements are so exaggerated that it doesn't even try to pretend like it's real life. I mean, just look at this guy. Running. That shit is straight out of Looney Tunes. But when you look past all the sex, gore, and strange art styles, I think that there's a profound beauty in this anime that both traumatized my 14-year-old self, but also gave me a unique outlook on how we fundamentally are as humans. I don't want to spoil the series too much, but it shows the malice that humanity is capable of, despite the fact that the world is literally being invaded by devils. Oh yeah, and also the soundtrack slaps.
Now, with that being said, thanks for watching the video, and special thanks to awdii for helping me out with this new video of mine. A new part will be out sometime in the future, seeing how I still got some material left, and comment down your thoughts on some of the weird animes you saw today. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you later.